Hey guys, welcome back to Contest Prep University. Joe Klemczewski with Adam Atkinson, episode 5, finishing up our series Peak Week for Physique competitors. Next time we're gonna be rocking into just men's bodybuilding, right, Adam?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, but so we've already talked about the division criteria. Not a whole lot of difference between those, but we'll talk about that extreme in the next little micro series within this meta series. But to wrap up exactly what we're talking about on contest day, Adam, you left off with a story about a client who was just super flat contest morning. You had to kind of just rush in some water, made a huge difference. I've got tons of photos that I present in the lectures and so forth of how much difference you can make in just minutes with water, with sodium, with things like that. We know that carbs are going to take a little bit longer, fat and protein, not very consequential on contest day other than just kind of placeholders and keeping the calorie base where it is. But if somebody is truly feeling like something's going off the rails, they're either spilling over or they're getting too flat, something is diverging in a place that was totally unexpected, it does take a little bit of deducing. I mean, you have to, as a coach, say, okay, I see this, I know what's happening, but it could be one of a handful of things. Like, it's not just, oh, you look like this, here's the recipe, quote unquote, to change that. So no, you have to discern, hey, is this person spilling over, or are they just getting flat? You could have a similar look from a couple different things. So, how important, Adam, is it that you are tracking all of your clients, knowing exactly where they've been all week, exactly what they look like the day before, so intuitively that, yes, if something's going wrong, it's probably this. How do you get to that point where you're making those decisions?
You really look for trends through the week, and you start looking at food amounts, water amounts, and with us doing photos 3 times a day, morning, midday, night, that's a great testament to seeing how your clients look, seeing how they look with a maximum amount of food. We know on show day, the goal is not to consume a ton of food. It's keeping hunger at bay and keeping the physique locked in. And so really, I look at show day as more micro moves based on what you've seen throughout the week. So that was how I knew my client was not spilled over, because he had never woken up that, and that's why he felt spilled over, is because he was flat, because the lack of water. So I could see why he felt like he was spilled over, and we actually did raise food. But I knew at the level we had raised it that it wouldn't spill him over. I knew it was a hydration issue, especially when I saw the lack of vascularity at night, and then even less tightness in the morning. I said, we're going flat because there's no muscle fullness. And that water just hit so hard. It was really cool to see someone go from that extreme, because that's something that I don't do. I don't pull water 98% of the time. So to see someone go from the opposite of what I wanted them to do to finally listening was a major difference. And honestly, I'm mad, because I'm like, how would he have looked with 3/4 of a gallon in versus like the 80 ounces we got in?
Well, and that's what I was getting at, is how critical that context is, knowing exactly what you had done, the trends. And so you could say, yeah, it has to be this. And I would say, in just general, as a way to wrap up the series, going back to that peaking axis, metaphor in illustration. If you know that you have, tripled your carbohydrate intake in just the last day, thinking that that's going to matter, and then you look softer, yeah, there's a chance you're spilling over. If, however, it wasn't that much, and as you said, Adam, you still look kind of flat, but yet really small and losing that vascularity, then there's probably a hydration issue. So, I just want people to realize, first of all, we have tons and tons and tons of series we've done on the entire peaking process and every single variable. So please go back and review a series just on peak week in general, and carbohydrates in general, and glycogen and water and so forth. But I would say, just to button up this one point you're making about hydration, because I think it's so critical. People do underestimate that if you're not over carbed, how much hydration can help. I've had a client backstage pumping up actually slam an entire gallon of water, and you don't spill over. There's nothing you can do to say, oh, that water is going to go under the skin. It's in your digestive system, and it's in your vascular system, and it's going to the muscle tissue that's been dehydrated. There's kind of a synchrony of what, tissues need that hydration. And then because of the mechanism of minerals in carbs, because we're not spilling over, the rest is just going to eventually be excreted. It's going to the bladder. And so you see these people in that span of 30, 45 minutes, go from looking flat and dehydrated and maybe not vascular to just, massive and vascular and even tighter, because now the muscle volume is expanding against those fascial sheaths and creating that muscle separation. So, these are the kinds of things you have to, as a competitor or a coach, be ready to actively manage on contest day, and making those adjustments, making those calls are just critical to the whole process.
Absolutely. It's really amazing what these changes can do.
Mm. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna wrap it up there. That is the series Peak Week for physique competitors. As I said, we're gonna hit men's bodybuilding next time, and then I think we're gonna be pretty soon out of the series. We're gonna have to do some more fun stuff. So, thanks for joining Contest Prep University, and we will see you next time.